What's up? How you guys doing? Last time I said, let's not just work with our hands, but with how we think about building. So let's keep going because the way we think starts before we even pick up a tool. And if you're new to this, I know the feeling. You just want to get in the shop and build something. And honestly, that pull is a good thing. But here's where I got tripped up when I was a kid in the shop. Plans felt like a speed bump, something slowing me down from the part I actually wanted to do. The second I had tools in my hands, the excitement just took over. So I'd skip them. I'd try to run before I'd really learn to walk. I don't know if you ever felt that, but I carried it for years. Now, the problem isn't following the plans. The problem is skipping them too soon. Here's how I see plans now. After years of building, messing up, and figuring things out, plans are a fundamental learning tool. That's it. They're not a crutch. They're not the opposite of creativity. They're the thing that makes creativity possible later. And honestly, I didn't come up with any of this on my own. I grew up watching my dad build. He put the first tool in my hand, but it was my high school teacher, woodworking teacher, who really lit the spark. He was the match to the kindling. And the surfboard shop I worked for years later pulled me all the way into the world of making. And my teachers at Cerritos College, they knew their stuff and made sure we did too. Some of the best teachers I've had, I've never actually met too. They're on my shelf, a handful of woodworking books I keep coming back to. And I'll list my favorites in the description if you're interested or you want to. Check them out. The thread running through all of them, people, books, every one of them is that they learned from someone too. They followed the people who came before them. That's how this works. That's how it's always worked. So here's what I didn't understand when I started. When you follow a plan, you're not just building a project, you're building a foundation. You're learning how to read from a drawing. You're learning how to make a cut list. You're learning how to think through a build before you ever turn on a tool. And that pre-work is what makes you safer. It's what takes the thinking out of it, so you can actually focus on the craft. That really changed for me when I got to Cerritos College. The counselors, the teachers, they gave me real guidance, stuff I just didn't have before. And what they helped me see was this. You follow your instincts, let yourself feel things, be creative, but start with a strong foundation. Follow plans so you can work safely, work efficiently, because the speed and the freedom you want, they come from the structure first. So I followed the plans to the T, start to finish. I know I needed the reps. I needed the flight time. And it wasn't too many projects in before I started seeing things, patterns, better ways to move around the shop. And I'd look at a step and think, I started with this piece first, I'd be more accurate. And that's not breaking the rules. That's the rules teaching you when to break them. That's the creative freedom people are chasing from day one. Except now, you've actually earned it. Now listen, you're still going to make mistakes. Even the best plan in front of you, that's part of it. And that's the beautiful part of it, honestly, because once you make a mistake, you've probably ingrained that lesson for good. You probably won't ever make it again. The important thing is that those mistakes aren't tool safety related. So we've talked a lot about plans, why they matter, why they're worth following. But before I close this out, I want to be straight with you. Some plans are clearer than others. Some walk you through it like a real teacher. Some don't. So I want to share something I've noticed over the years. The best plans I've come across, they all kind of follow the same shape. Now, this isn't mine. I picked it up from books, teachers, and people smarter than me, but it's the cleanest way I've found to break a build down. And once you start looking for it, It's how you can start telling a good plan from a not so good one. And it's broken down into 3 phases: design, build, finish. That's it. Design is the thinking part, the idea, the measurements, the sketches, the cut list, the materials, everything before you ever turn on a tool. Build is the hands-on part, milling, cutting, the joinery, the shaping, the dry fit, the glue up, the assembly. And then finish, which is the part most beginners rush: sanding, staining, oil or clear coat, hardware, the final review. It's what takes a project from "I built that" to "I'm proud of that." The part that makes something last, the kind of piece someone holds on to. So design, build, and finish. If you can hold these 3 in your head, every plan you read starts to make more sense. Now, I put together a free PDF that breaks all 3 phases down, a tool you can use when you're picking a plan, a quick way to tell if it's worth following. But honestly, it's also just a nice thing to have on hand, a reference for the craft, something to look at every once in a while when you want to think clearly about what you're building. And the more I work with this system, the more I find it doesn't just apply to woodworking. It applies to almost anything you make with your hands, anything you build with care. So print it, pin it up in the shop, pull it out whenever it helps. It's down in the description. No email, no sign up. It's just yours. If you have any trouble downloading it, comment or reach out and I'll get it to you. And let me know what you think. Is there anything else we could work on together? So if you're early in this, read the plans, study the cut lists, run the process through your head before you ever touch a tool. Trust the structure is teaching you something, even when it feels slow, because patience now is freedom later. So let's get to work, not just with our hands, but with the patience to learn the fundamentals first.